Alright, so these are the DIY sliding barn doors that Julie wanted me to build. I had a couple people ask me about these, so asking if I had a video of it or whatnot. But either way, so just cut a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. I think it's the nicer stuff, the $40 a sheet, something like that. So this one's going to be 30 inches wide. I've already ripped it down the side there. Then I got just a standard, 1x4, which is actually only 3.5. Pinned down against the edges. I decided I wanted my slats to be about 5 inches. You see the tick marks I made, 25, 20, 15, all the way down. It was just real easy math, and especially for these 30-inch doors. I'm actually going to be making about 10 of these doors at different widths, but either way. So now I'm just going to take the saw there. I've got the blade depth set at about 1/8 of an inch or so, and just go down 5 times for this one. So here's what the grooves are going to look like. You see, I've already done the other side. So yeah, just set your width with the 1x4 and clamp her down, and just a few more to do. Alright, there we go, all grooved up. Remember the blade depth's about 1/8 of an inch. And I just went just up and down, just real quick. One thing to remember, if the saw bobbles or anything like that while you're cutting them, it's fine. You don't want them to be perfect. See, I've got a couple of little, just where the saw kind of stuttered, or I let off the switch on it to change positions or so I could move or whatever. But either way, it's if it's not perfect, it looks good. It's fine, because the pickets aren't perfect. You don't want them to look perfect. So I think 150 is what's on there now. I started out with a worn out piece of 60 grit paper, just enough to knock the shine off of it, and knock off any burrs from the grooves, cuts that I made. And again, this is the other side of that piece. It's got some gouges in it and grooves and stuff, but that's fine. They're gonna look great when the stain gets on. They'll be a little bit darker, and it's a good thing. Alright, boys and girls, here's where you learn from my mistakes. I picked up these 2 sheets. I got them on different days, but either way, I got them out of the same pile. Wasn't paying attention, and you see how the grain on this piece is just not the same, does it? It's a lot more muted, and it looks almost bamboo-ish. But this piece of plywood, this one's fine. It's gonna look great. If these 2 doors were going right next to each other, it would not look right. But since they're going to be on opposite sides of the room, and I don't think anybody will notice. But either way, heads up. Pay attention to the grains on your plywood when you're picking that out. Alright, so I've already got the wood cut, the doors, they're all grooved and everything. But the problem is, you have those grooves, and I got to get stain down in them. So came up with a clever little thing here. Elmer's glue bottle. Grab one of your kids' glue bottles, empty that thing out, wash it out real good. That was the wife's some tiny funnel. She had to give that up because sacrifices. Either way, just take that and fill up your glue bottle with some stain. It really doesn't take too much. And then we're just going to put the cap back on it and just run it right down the grooves. So yeah, if you tried to, just put the stain on like with a rag or a brush or something, it's just going to get really dark right along these grooves. But use a little bottle trick or any kind of a squeeze bottle or anything that's got a really narrow tip will help you get it down in there, and it goes pretty quick too. I may have this open a little bit too wide. Let's just speed up a little. But all the stain is going to soak in anyways, so there we go. And one, and then I need to get a rag and kind of. All right, so here they are, and that's just after I got the stain into the groove. So it gets a little messy, but it's much quicker, and you use a lot less stain than trying to squeeze it down in there with a rag or try and drag a screwdriver down through those grooves. So I'll go ahead and finish stain. All right, here we go. So first coat of stain is on. These are gonna get 2 coats because my wife wants this color that is only visible to the female eye. So these get another coat of like red mahogany or something. This is just dark walnut. But you see the variation in the grain. But this one's not too bad. I don't know. I like all the flaws. But either way, they came out good. They'll be fine. Alright, so I went ahead and made the hardware. If you don't have a welder, find a friend and take him a sandwich or buy him lunch or something. But either way, pretty easy. This is all just 1-inch flat stock, 1/4 inch thick. The like rail that everything's going to slide on, that's I went ahead and got a 2-inch. Still got a few holes to drill in that, but just to match that up to the studs. Using skateboard wheels. I had a friend sand down the edges of these, so they'll just look a little cleaner. But the skateboard wheels, you can get them free at some skate shops if you want used ones. Buying them, they're not too expensive, but also like your big box stores, they sell these hardware kits for these doors for I think $159 is what I saw them for. And I got about maybe $20 in all this hardware. So either way. Alright, so I got the door finished up, got the trim on it. Those trim pieces are just 1x6s. And finished making my hardware, got it all painted. I still got to paint the bolt heads and whatnot, but happy with the way it came out. Definitely use the 2-inch flat stock for that rail that it slides on. That definitely makes a difference. So go with that if you have a choice, but I think the door came out alright.